Yes, absolutely, Mary. Watching snow fall, especially early in the season, is absolutely gorgeous. We're seeing some of it come down right now. And for your kids, it can be quite a lot of fun. I'm here in LA's own Dodger Stadium, where 55 years ago, the organization made a transition from New York to Los Angeles. That's right, Mark. Well, political tensions tying back to right here in Utah have been an ongoing theme this year. I'm here in San Bernardino, where a shooting has taken place here at North Park Elementary. Yes, that's right, guys. Last night, a tornado did touch down in this area of Washington Terrace. Let's go ahead and look at the map here. This is the area where the tornado damaged a number of houses. I spoke with Kurt Jowers earlier today, a longtime friend and political advisor to Romney. He said he really doesn't know how this will play out. This is all the snow that is on the ground. Not enough for the 5 resorts that are scheduled to open by next Friday. I'm here in Pasadena at the corner of Ramona and Garfield, where a woman has been taken into police custody after a 2-hour standoff with authorities. Tonight on 2 News at 5, the U.S. Forest Service says this 9/11 monument in Farmington needs to come down. Universal Studios is expected to open up the attractions over the next couple of years. Live from the newsroom, I'm Alexis Walker. Matt, back to you in the studio. Live for 2 News, I'm Alexis Walker. In Burbank, Alexis Walker, CCN. I'm here in LA's own Dodger Stadium, where 55 years ago, the organization made a transition from New York to Los Angeles, bringing with them a steady voice which provided a constant and stable portrayal through times of change in the history of this beloved franchise. This season, a new announcer takes over the reins of the play-by-play and the title of the voice of the Dodgers.
Story can fly, Puig can throw, my goodness, Yoshua Puig from the wall!
For the first time since the Dodgers moved west in 1958, there's a new voice for the boys in blue. Joe Davis takes over for the legendary broadcaster Vin Scully.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it myself.
At just 29 years old, Davis is one of the youngest sportscasters to ever call a Major League Baseball game.
You know, a lot of kids dream of being a professional athlete, but when I started dreaming of doing something, I knew pretty early on that I wanted to do this.
Born and raised in Potterville, Michigan, the son of a football coach, Davis played at Division III Beloit College, where he started honing his skills.
I played football for him in high school and played football in college. And while I was in college, the big recruiting pitch from the football coach was that I could announce the basketball games once I got there.
In 2011, Davis began his career calling minor league baseball games for the Montgomery Biscuits of the Southern League. He quickly ascended in the broadcasting industry, eventually catching the eyes and ears of the Dodgers.
And when we first got that call that there was some interest, I was just surprised I knew who I was and didn't think that anything would really come of it.
Well, something did come of it, and Davis got the job replacing Scully. So how does one go about following in the footsteps of a play-by-play icon?
If you want to give yourself any chance, it's not a good idea to look at it as replacing the greatest ever to do it. And if you want to be realistic, you don't look at it like that.
Scully began calling Dodger games in 1950 when the franchise called Brooklyn home. Over the next 67 years, he was that familiar voice that connected the team's rich history from Brooklyn to LA.
I'm never going to be able to tell those stories the same way a guy that saw them could. It's important for me to still embrace that history, and it needs to have a place moving forward.
A new chapter has begun, but the traditions and memories of a man who sat here before will carry on.
The biggest moments, hopefully I'm able to rise to the occasion with the moment and put an appropriate caption on those moments, maybe a memorable caption, and then be able, like Vin was so good at, get out of the way.
Davis says he's overwhelmed by the amount of public support and that he's doing what he loves, which makes the experience all that much sweeter. In Dodger Stadium, Alexis Walker, CCN. I'm in Burbank under the big top tent of Circus Vargas. Their slogan, "The Big One is back in town," may now take on a whole new meaning. For more than 40 years, Circus Vargas has been Southern California's own traveling circus, performing in cities from Ventura to Irvine.
The adrenaline, everything, there's nothing like it.
Circus Vargas is the last big traveling circus and is now taking its act on the road across the United States. following the close of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, which started the circus craze back in 1919.
Circus Vargas, we've used that slogan, the big one is back, but I think now it's going to be ring more truer than ever.
Katya Quiroga is vice president and co-owner, along with her husband, of Circus Vargas. Born into a 7-generation circus family, she's grown up in the industry.
Of course, we adapt and change every single year because that people want to see things that are new, modern, up to date, whether you're changing the sound, the music, the lighting, the costumes, the theme, while keeping the traditional circus theme. I think the circus, it's something for family, something that the whole family can be entertained by.
Circus Vargas has evolved with the times, taking out all animal acts more than 8 years ago. However, it still faces many challenges in today's world.
In this day and age, it's really difficult with the electronics, cell phones, everything's at your fingertips. And I think live entertainment has been really difficult to keep going and strong.
Fans are still flocking to this big top tent, and the performers are confident that this is not just a show, it's something much more.
When you're out there and you're loving what you do, it kind of connects with the audience. And what's really great about shows like Circus Vargas is we have a more intimate setting where we're closer to the people and we try to connect with them.
There's nothing like it. Like there's other live arts and stuff, but circus is it's classic. And it's just one of those things where you really have to experience it to understand what it's all about.
The daring acts, colorful characters, and that little touch of magic makes the circus a great escape from your everyday life.
It's difficult to be at home and everybody has their jobs and their problems and their bills to pay, and there's so much going on in the world and even in your home life that this is just 2 hours, forget about everything, come together with the family, enjoy your family, and at the same time enjoy and experience together, creating memories last a lifetime.
Braga says Circus Vargas will soon be traveling around the nation as one of the last big circuses in the United States. She hopes that people will continue to support this style of live entertainment, which has been around for more than a century. In Burbank, Alexis Walker, CCN. I'm here in the Lemon Heights hills of Santa Ana, where an artist has shaken up the art world by adding color to the industrial style of Art Deco. He infuses pop culture to create one-of-a-kind pieces. Tucked high in the hills of Santa Ana sits a house with views from the valley clear to the ocean. But while the house may look normal from the outside, open the doors and you step into a whole new world.
Anything that you see as visual entertainment to put on your wall or pick up off a grocery store shelf is what I create.
Mike Kungle is a professional graphic designer and a fine arts painter, creating everything from digital prints to giant elaborate murals.
Always had a passion for artwork, but never knew that it would go in this direction. I just always liked it.
Born in the Los Angeles area, Kungle will tell you art has always been a part of his life. Where did the passion come from then? Were your parents artists?
No, the passion, I think that the passion just was inherent of my soul. I honestly believe that.
Finding the knack early on, what was once a hobby soon became talent people around him could easily see.
My art teacher said, Mike, you should probably go to college to, for art, some kind of commercial graphics industry, And I said, okay, I'll check that out.
Leaning on his childhood for inspiration, characters from familiar shows quickly made their way onto Kungle's canvases.
For some reason, whenever I'm drawing, there's always a lightning bolt that comes off of my pencil. And it just is, that's the way I draw. It's from here and here.
The walls are filled with dozens of creations that express Kungle's style, a fusion of two worlds. So where did the Art Deco part of that whole fusion that you've created now, where did that start?
What I call it is a 21st century Art Deco. And it's basically a new version of Art Deco based on the 1920s and 1945 era.
Influenced by the forefathers of industrial design, the architecture surrounding the world of Art Deco stays alive in every unique piece.
Look at the Chrysler Building, Empire State Building, the Golden Gate Bridge, some of the most monumental monolithic landmarks of our generation are these are the most beautiful things that are still existing.
The artist created M. Kungle Studios in 1987. Kungle has worked with heavyweights like Lucasfilms, Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Warner Brothers, all from the comforts of his in-house studio.
I don't work for anybody. I'm self-employed, but I have contracts with people that allow, the intellectual property owners that allow me to create their art and distribute it.
Inspired by two different worlds, one of luxury and one of fantasy, the popular artist keeps his head level, creating something for everyone.
Whomever comes by an event that I have the pleasure to meet, that wants to come meet me, whether it be the president of a Fortune 500 company or a 4-year-old girl with a lollipop and sticky fingers, they are both going to get the same treatment.
Kungle is also an avid dog lover. He donates a portion of his online purchases to his favorite animal rescue. From Santa Ana, Alexis Walker, CCN.